Hello everyone, I am I.K. Tiwari. I am an agriculture professional and have experience in teaching, marketing and research for significant time. Welcome to the class. Today, we will learn about the standards and certification of organic farming. And after going through this class, you will be able to understand about the standards for organic farming and the agencies to certify organic products. Now, to start with, we will first understand the organic quality control process. The quality control in organic farming has four main components to it, which are accreditation, then standards, then inspection, and the last one certification, in that order. The first component is accreditation. Accreditation ensures that a particular certification program is competent to carry out a task. The second component is standard. Standards define the benchmarks for production process, not the product quality. The third component is inspection. Inspection is done to ensure that the production is in accordance with the set standards. And the last component of the organic quality control is certification. The process of certification assesses the results of inspection against the set standards. Now, we will learn about each of these four components in a bit more detail. Let's start with accreditation. So, accreditation is a procedure adopted by the national accrediting body for ascertaining the competence of a certified body to certify farms, products and processes as per the national standards. For example, APEDA, which stands for Agricultural and Processed Food Exports Development Authority, is the accrediting agency on behalf of National Program for Organic Production of the Indian government. This essentially means if you want to carry out the task of certifying organic farming, then you have to be an accredited agency by the APEDA. This accreditation will make you or your agency authorized to certify, and your certification will be recognized all over the country. Let's get a little deeper into it by understanding the whole operational structure of organic certification in India before going into its functional details. As you can see in the slide, Government of India has a program to promote organic farming, popularly known as NPOP, which sometimes is referred as NPOP, or the National Program for Organic Production. Now, the Ministry of Commerce appoints a steering committee which, in consultation with Ministry of Commerce itself and the Ministry of Agriculture, gives the overall guidance to the accrediting agency, which is APEDA. The ministry is giving the guidance under the framework provided by two acts, which are number one, the FTDR Act, which stands for Foreign Trade Development and Regulation Act for exports, and the number two is the APGMC Act, which stands for Agricultural Produce Grading, Marketing and Certification Act. As the name suggests, the FTDR Act primarily deals with the exports and the APGMC Act deals with the matter of certification and marketing of the agricultural produce in India. So, APEDA, being the accrediting agency, gives approval to the various agencies to certify the organic products while operating under strict guidelines provided to them time to time by the government. Then these certifying agencies go to the farmers, traders or the processors who are seeking for the organic certification, and after due inspection of documents, records and the practices at the farm or the processing unit, they certify it. These agencies also charge a certification fee. There are many national and international agencies working in India for the organic certification. In this slide, you can see a compilation of many of the active certifying agencies, and many more join this list every year. In this list, you might have observed that a lot of states have their own certification agencies in addition to many private agencies covering different regions of those states. These state government agencies are funded by respected state governments, and they generally charge a lower fee in comparison to the private ones. Likewise, there are many international agencies also working actively in the field of organic certification, and most of them are from developed world. These international agencies work with the producers of developing countries and provide them the technical know-how for the production of the high quality organic products, so that it can then be exported to the countries where the demand is. Some of the international certifying agencies are listed in the slide, in which USDA organic certification, EU organic certification and IFOAM certification are the prominent ones. In this ever-changing world, it is absolutely necessary to build a strong system in the country which enables us to take advantage of trade opportunities arising anywhere in the world. India's National Program on Organic Production is such a robust system which helps in keeping the pace up with the emerging trends from around the world. Over the years, our NPOP standards have also improved a lot, and so has its universal acceptability. NPOP has equivalence agreement with European Union, and USDA also has accepted this certification system of ours, which means the organic products certified by any of the Indian agencies can be freely exported to these countries without the need of any recertification by any international agency. This international acceptance of our organic standards opens the world market for Indian producers and exporters. This also validates the fact that organic movement in India is being handled in a very mature and transparent way. Now that we know the structural aspects of accreditation, let's learn what are the broad objectives and functions of an accrediting agency. The mission of an accrediting agency is to keep all the stakeholders up to date with the latest trends in the field of organic farming. They accomplish this mission by number one, leading, uniting and assisting the organic movement. Number two, motivating the adoption of organic cultivation for the larger good of the society. Number three, ensuring credibility and longevity of organic cultivation. Number four, organizing conferences, trainings, meetings and forums for two-way dialogues between the stakeholders. Number five, working continuously to make organic farming a mass movement. This brings us to the second of the four components of organic quality control, which is standards. Let's learn about the basic requirements, or you can say basic standards for organic farming. These are bare essential things that every organic producer has to do no matter what the product is. In other words, this is the basic minimum to start with the organic farming. So, these basic requirements are compliance of production activity in terms of types of inputs or the types of processes to be used or to not be used. Number two, the farm documentation, all relevant details of inputs and practices used during the production should be documented with relevant proofs. Number three, planning. The whole schedule for entire tenure of production should be planned in advance and should be documented. And number four, inspection by the certifying agency. The certifying agency should be called to inspect as and when required as per the industry standards, and the due fee should be paid in advance. And number five, record keeping. Every aspect of the organic production should be recorded so that everything can be traced back if required at a later stage of production. After knowing about the various basic requirements, let me take you through a few practical examples of getting started with organic farming. The first thing a farmer who wants to get in organic farming has to do is conversion of the farm to organic farm. A farmer who has been doing conventional farming till now must have been using chemical fertilizers, micronutrients and insecticides, etc. But these inputs are of chemical origin, hence leave their traces in the soil even after the crop harvested from the field. These traces or residues of chemical inputs might enter the subsequent crops also. This can make even the subsequent crops inorganic as going by the standards. Those trace elements are undesirable in an organic product. So, the farms need to go through a conversion period. During the conversion period, the farmer is expected to go through a conversion plan, wherein not only the timeline is given, but also the practices to be used, the crops to be grown, and the inputs to be used during these periods are recommended. For instance, the farmer is expected to maintain the biodiversity within the farm. For this, he is encouraged to take up practices like crop rotation, mixed cropping, relay cropping, and tree farming, etc. The focus here is on making the soil free from any chemical residue and bringing back that abundance of microbial flora fauna just like the soil of any other natural habitat. For annual crops is 2 years and for perennial crops it is 3 years. Let's take another practical example. Though a farmer cannot use any chemical inputs in the farm during and after the conversion period, but this does not mean he can use any of the organic manures. From the basket of various organic manures, the farmer can use only a certain manures. For other manures, the approval of certifying agency is needed. Generally speaking, following manuring products are permitted in organic farming. Number 1, farmyard manure, slurry, green manures, crops, residues, straw and other mulches from own farm. Number 2, sawdust, wood shavings from untreated wood, calcium chloride, limestone, gypsum and chalk. Number 3, magnesium rock, sodium chloride. Number 4, bacterial preparations known as biofertilizers like azospirillum or rhizobium cultures. And number 5, plant preparation and extracts like neem cake. Number 6, vermicompost. Like I said, there are some manuring products that are organic, but they can be used only after the approval of the certifying agencies. A few of such products are farmyard manure, slurry, urine, straw etc. from other farms, blood meal, bone meal, fish meal which contain some preservatives in them, then minerals like basic slag, trace elements, and then vermicompost from other farms. I hope by now you might have got enough idea about the detailing that goes into producing an organic product. In fact, the process of producing any organic product is full of such do's and don'ts. Many a times an input which is obviously organic is not allowed to be used for one crop but allowed for another crop. The certifying agencies have the responsibility to make these things clear to the farmer beforehand. Many farmers get in organic farming but find it hard to follow the recommendations and then leave midway. So a certain determination to pull it through is needed in the part of both the parties. This brings us to the third and fourth component of organic quality control, which is inspection and certification. Before going into the inspection part, let us know why certification is needed. An organic product certification does exactly what a degree does to you in finding a job or in getting admission in a college. So, being based on a set of standards and ethics, organic certification system is a quality assurance initiative intended to assure quality, prevent fraud, and promote commerce. The one thing to keep in mind here is organic farming certification is a process certification. This essentially means the certifying agency certifies that the process followed was as per the said standards. So, it is not the certification of the product in any way. Now that we know the purpose of certification, let us know how the inspection and certification takes place. The organic farmer who wants to get certified contacts the relevant agency and after paying the due fee gets the farm visited by the inspector. The inspector goes through the records and documentation maintained by the farmer and visits the fields to see the practices adopted by him. Then he compares them vis-a-vis the standards as mentioned by accrediting agency, and based on outcome of that comparison, he certifies accordingly. This does not happen in one visit only. The inspector visits the farm regularly as and when required by the standards of the agency, and based on this observation of these visits, he certifies. the inspection and certification process can be different based upon the location of intended end user. If the product is intended to be consumed within the country of origin, then it can be done by any of the accredited certifying agency working within the country. But in many cases, the organic product is being produced exclusively for export purposes. Rich Western countries are a big market for the organic products. Therefore, many farmers and firms in developing countries grow organic products keeping these markets in mind. In such cases, 3 different certification arrangements are possible, and based on viability and convenience, any of these 3 can be availed. These 3 arrangements are: number 1, direct certification. In this arrangement, a foreign certifying agency sends a foreign inspector who, based on their criteria, inspects the farms and certifies it. In the diagram here, operator means either the farmer or the processor. Number 2, co-certification. This arrangement is called co-certification because here a Western certifying agency hires a local inspector who does the certification on their behalf. And the arrangement number 3, local certification. In this arrangement, a local certifier does the certification using a local inspector, but that local certifier is an internationally recognized one. The international certifiers use this route to save on costing of certification. One important angle in organic farming is the difference between the resources available to the farmers of the developed and developing countries. A farmer from developed country usually has a big land holding, whereas low land holding is one common problem in developing countries. But low land holding should not hold them back from adopting the organic movement. Therefore, arrangements for certification of such entities under group certification have been made. What is group certification? Let us take example of India. A majority of farmers are smallholders and are often located in remote areas with long travel times from one place to another. The overall revenue from their agricultural production is usually too small to allow a viable farm inspection by external inspection agency. Quality assurance systems for these smallholders group have also been developed by various national and international agencies. We shall get to know more about the certification process in our next few lectures. With this, our today's lesson ends. Thank you all for your patience, and I shall see you all in the next lecture. Bye for now.